Hello everyone and welcome to Chaos Creations. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of a video. It's more than likely a thing everyone knows, but I thought I'd just let you know just in case. So at the moment I've got this 3D print. It's actually for 8 to 6mm scale. It's like a big landing pad and I'm gluing it together. Now the problem I find is if a printer works too well, these sides are awfully smooth. So I've scratched them up a little bit with the Games Workshop seam liner, and I've just scratched it up a bit just so the glue has something to grip onto. So, when you stick it down, the glue has something that it can just like grab into little joins and so forth. Now, I've glued this bit up a little while ago, and I had some terrible problems. Even with the lines and so forth, it wasn't really sticking so well. So I remember an old trick that I used to do long ago with some cosplay prints, and that is a smidge of green stuff. Now, you want to be very, very sparing with this because, you've got to put it between two pieces. But what I do is I just stick one bit in a little corner somewhere, usually down the bottom, and I try to smear it along as much as humanly possible. I mean, really pull it out there because it's got to wedge up nicely. Okay, and then what I do is I get another small piece, and we are talking like, very small pieces here, guys. And then I do the other end down here. Now, the reason why I use the bottom is I don't want it sort of squidging up around the top. I'd rather it squidge down the bottom if any place. You can put it in the middle if you wanted to. I'm just putting it in the bottom because that's, I'm a creature of habit. So you just want to stitch it nice and tightly. Now what that'll do is when these two pieces get glued together, in theory, the green stuff should help hold it together. So I also find with a lot of stuff, prints, that, you can just glue one side quite nice and smooth and evenly, and you stick them together, and you look at the other side a few moments later and there's nothing stuck on it. So I do get very heavy-handed with my super glue and make sure it's nice and squidgy. That way when it goes together, like so, now the green stuff is starting to stick into it. The super glue is doing its job as well. Now there's always going to be wiggle room for a while. So, you give it a good press. And if you wanted to, you can take those two pieces apart. And I can see there is super glue on there. So I know it's working. Now, the other trick you can do is you can get a little bit of the old baking powder. And, just put a little sprinkle on there. And, of course, that acts like concrete to super glue. I don't want too much on there because I still want it to join together properly. But it'll just help out a lot. The only downside to doing that is because it dries the super glue up and hardens it very quickly. You've got to make sure that you're flush on all your edges very quickly because you've got about 10 seconds tops before that boat sails. So now all I do is I'll just have to wait a couple of minutes for that to be fully hard, and then I'll use the rest of the green stuff on the bottom, or maybe in the middle, let's be dangerous. Pop some super glue on there and pop those two pieces together. Then I'll flip it over on its back, and if there's any join seams at the bottom, I will give it a very, very, very light super glue, and then almost instantly pop over some baking powder or baking soda, whatever you want to call it, and just rub it in there with my finger, or a little bit of a filament that's snapped off and so forth. That's from some support, and it acts excellently as like a little toothbrush to just put in the baking soda really well. And that will mean it'll be rock solid hard, and then we can start painting it. I did undercoat it in 4 separate pieces, and the main reason for that is I could hold it, twist it a lot easier than it being one big block. Now in hindsight, I guess I could have just, kept it as separate pieces and painted it up, but I want the paint to flow nice and easily, and the hard work of, most of the undercoat is done. There's still a few points here, there, and everywhere that is still not been, fully taken in with the black, but I've got the majority of it done. So what I'll do is I'll glue it up. I'll wait maybe 2 or 3 hours do something else, come back, and then give it one final undercoat on all the bits and pieces, and then the fun begins of painting it. Everyone have a great day. Chaos signing off for now. Bye-bye.